Asking have been all day looking at the astrology for April. I was mentioning on Instagram and Facebook, I've done the rounds, so I've been going around each place. I've probably been up since 6 o'clock in the morning. It's normal, usually a lot earlier. And I have been looking at the aspects for April. And just really trying to compile them in layman's terms to find some of the themes that can be coming up. I'm just moving the chart forward so we can have a look at it, because I do know that Australia has Taurus in the chart. I do know that America's having a Pluto return. Hi, Giggle. And I was kind of sitting with it because we do have a cyclone that we are going to be having here in Australia. And it was funny because last year I was talking to a friend and I said, we will see shifts because of Pisces. We've got Jupiter in Pisces. We've got Neptune in Pisces. What else do we have in Pisces? Jupiter, Neptune. And I believe we're going to be having, so we are having, I think it is called Cyclone. Oh, what's the name of it? Let's have a look. What's it called? So here we're having a tropical cyclone. In Australia, it's called Charlotte. We've got a Charlotte. We've got a Charlotte coming. Okay, so which is quite common because A, it's Taurus, and B, it is to do with especially in Mercury. We've got Mercury there. Usually you tend to find those things do come, and I've totally forgot up in my head. It's usually about 4 weeks before an eclipse. So because we are going into eclipse season, what we are going to see is things changing. Okay, so I did also say, and I have been speaking to my friends candidly of another prediction, and that is type into Google, and this is from astrology background to history background, which is, the Leo King does this. Go back and type into Google power outages 2003, and then type into Google power outages 2014. Now, it can be because we do have the North Node in Taurus, the eclipse in Taurus, and the North Node in Taurus relating to energy. So we're seeing spikes in gasoline. We are seeing issues to do with, again, Taurus can relate to agriculture. It can relate to environment. It can relate to money, Bitcoin. Although it's a partial eclipse, which can be positive, we're kind of going from the axis of Virgo, which technically speaking, we're still moving through it. My sister mentioned a very interesting thing that happened today, and she was observing it. It was somebody really projecting their experience onto another individual. And it was really in a bullying fashion. So again, you can have the most beautiful astrology, but you're always going to get the yin to the yang, even in the most positive aspects. Now, the moon is going to be a new moon in Aries, and it's happening on the first day of the month. You'll start feeling already the eclipse energy now. Okay, so if you feel very tired, very sluggish, we had the Schumann resonance jump on the 23rd to 23. Okay, so it has been spiking. So keep an eye on it, especially when it does come to your stress levels. It can be where we're in our toots at the moment and trying to think of things. Generally, you do find, if you do the research on the Schumann resonance at a collective level, it's a little bit like a magnetic field. You tend to find that when the collective consciousness spikes and they're getting afraid and they're getting scared, that it actually spikes. So at the moment, it is gaining momentum. And again, generally what you tend to find, which I'll see the track of where the eclipse is going. Bear with me and I'll be able to give you some tips. Wrong one. I'm multitasking. Okay, we're just winging this. So I usually write down all my notes, but we're running out of time. Eclipse in Taurus. And we're having one back to back. So it's usually a few weeks apart. 2022. Now let's see if we can see the map. Otherwise I'll have to go to another site. No, we'll go to another site. I'll write map. Where it will be visible, we need to check. And generally you will get, let me have a look. Total lunar eclipse. Nope, wrong one. It's a partial. So being a partial, it can be things to do with males in the media. It also can be, bear with me while I look for it, apologies. I'm usually more organised, but we're talking. Otherwise I'll leave that and I'll come back to you. Usually wherever it's visible, it's the pole opposite side of the globe that starts having issues. Morning. So we're going to see where it's, we'll see if I can find it here. Otherwise I'll come back to you and I'll do another one on that. Should look at NASA, really. They'd do it. NASA. I love looking at using astrology. Anyway, so what I'll say is, number one, you can find, usually it's about 4 weeks, which I totally forgot. It was like FYI, warn everyone. 4 weeks before an eclipse, you'll find you can get funky situations going on, okay? NASA. Let's see if they've got it. And they'll show us the transit, hopefully. No, thank you. Are you bored yet? Or I could write, where is it going to be visible? Where is it visible? Hotspots. And if not, we're just going to move on, okay? So we're going to find that you're going to have, with Pisces transits, we're going to have, I've got to be careful how I say things. I'm on YouTube, okay? So if I'm speaking in code, you've got to work with me. And it's due to having to be careful. You'd love to be bored. Oh, God, I don't have time to be bored. So number one is we are having a cyclone, okay? So it then occurred to me, gee, Yildiz, you haven't been keeping everyone, you know, in the P's and Q's, because I've been getting the charts ready for you guys, both free of charge as well as paid on the website, which is quite a lot because we are having 3 moons this month. Number one is moving into the month, you're going to find with the emotions they can be heightened. Now, although it's a new moon, it is in an area that is relating to wounds. Can blasts from the past come back? Yes, they can. Can we be going over old ground and having old triggers come up? Yes, we can. They're already starting, and that is due to the fact that we have Virgo there. Some of us on a higher octane are going to become incredibly practical. We could become a little bit bitchy, okay? It can be where you're really abrupt and straight and strict. The other thing is, from a tension point of view, Mars can relate to police, military, metal. What else can it relate to? Energy, electricity. It's a great time to go and check your smoke alarms to make sure that your electrical circuit boards are okay. Could we have power outages? Yes, we potentially could. And that's even well and truly prior to the eclipse because of the Mars transits. Are you going to see spikes and increases? Yes, because of the temperamentalness of the transits at the moment in Taurus. Once we pass past it, we can have this new beginning. The other thing I'm predicting is we can have things coming up and being brought forward, and that may be electric vehicles. It might be more green style, you know, things coming through on the market. It's a good time to get your security in order. So that can be updating your passwords. It can be, you know, you could be having issues at the moment because we had the moon in Virgo. It can be issues with technology. It can be reacting like a Mercury retrograde, even though technically it's not. With Pisces there, you're kind of trying to have that logical mind at the same time as having situations play out. The other thing is your animals can start playing up at the moment, and that's due to the fact we've got Pisces there. So you might find that they're heightened. The other thing is be incredibly environmentally aware. And what do I mean by that? If it goes quiet, pay attention to your environment, be present. It usually is a signal from your direct environment that something's shifting, something's happening. You tend to find, especially if it goes very quiet, be aware that's not normal, okay? That's the environment giving you a signal that something's happening. So you need to be aware of your physical environment. Can we have positive things happen next month? Yes, we can. But if you do go back in history and we look at these current transits, some of these things are actually linking back to last year, I would say around September, October. We're revisiting and closing out cycles from then. The other thing, it's taking us all the way back to 2014 and 2003. And even further back, some of these transits are taking us as far back as 1885, I believe. So when you look back at history of those times, there was civil unrest. There was a lot of things going on, especially with the shadow sign of Taurus being Scorpio. It can be to do with secrets coming out. I mean, it's funny that when I was looking back and I was doing the astrology, we're going to be having a full moon in Libra. And I do recall doing a psychic update, and it was to do with, I think her name was Cleo Smith, and she went missing. We're relinking back to that, and I wouldn't be surprised if something to do with that comes up. You're also going to have, with the element of Pisces, it could be, things in the media to do with what would the most safest word be for YouTube? A substance being located by an actual official and it being in the media. That's about the safest way I can say it. There could be pay rises relating to police officers wanting a pay rise. Could there be riots? Yes, there could be. Are there positive things? Yes, this is an opportunity at the beginning of the month that we are going to face our shadow. Could we have more energy? Yes, but you need to redirect it in the correct fashion. Okay, so if you're projecting it at a person or you're feeling afraid, each one of us with an zodiac sign has a placement of Aries. We have Aries and Chiron as well, and in the positioning of the chart, which I have got a brief update on my website, which I may go back and tweak it a bit and add to it because I have been quite crammed for time. Is that Chiron is very close to the positioning of the moon. And so it's making a very, they're dancing with each other. And it's occurring on bloody April's Fool. So the joke's on us, right? The other thing is on the 12th, we are going to be having a great conjunction. And so it is a positive thing, but it's a reality check. You know, for the first 3 days, we've got conjunction points bouncing off at the first day of the month, and there's about 3 of them. So they're quite heavy hitting. We could be very triggered when it comes to what we should do with our money, our values. You know, it could be very rushed that we're feeling we need something to fulfill something, but it also could be a very positive thing where you're directly pouring that energy into, okay, I have this grand idea, very direct in, okay, achieving a new way to balance your money, to achieve your targets. It's a really great time to launch businesses. I would say during the eclipse, however, it's really better to move through that vibration. And if you want to do anything to do with your crystals or to do with you, what would I say? Preparing for it. Inside the star sign subscription that I have, I tend to give you a week by week update of what I feel is going to be hitting your chakra systems and how to directly balance it. And that's so you're prepared ahead of the transits. If you're a meat eater, okay, I would say do that now. Don't do that in the first week to 2 weeks, because what tends to happen is that we have that chakra activated. If you're feeling aggressive or angry, you kind of want to lay off those foods. You don't want to add to that because it will become where the chakra system in that area is going to be very overactive. So, you know, sometimes we can look at a chart and we can say, okay, we've got those Mars transits. They're pretty hot and heavy. If you then go to adding to that equation, what it's going to cause is more agitation. There's a build-up of it. If you've got too much energy and you haven't got an outlet for it, you need to transfer it into something, or it can then come out in a blow-up setting. So it's better to be very aware of your body in the month of April and gauge it. So if you're having moments where you're feeling sluggish, unmotivated, eat the orange and the red food groups. You know, add to that. Do the meditation connected to that. Join the star sign subscription, which is going to really tune into your individual chakra system of your zodiac sign, so you can get the support during that transit of where it's going to hit. Keep your fluid up. Eat food groups during the month that are going to balance your nervous system. And it's more from an astrological point of view that we can get stressed because we're going from, you know, a Chiron energy, which can really, you know, bring up our inner child, all the way through to the eclipse, which you'll be feeling throughout the month, which is to do with Taurus, and it's Uranus and Taurus, which is sort of like, it's almost like going from rags to riches. It's extreme and it's sudden. It's very abrupt. So it won't be expected. As much as we can say to you, hey, by the way, it's in this area of your chart. At the time when it happens, we may not feel that as great, even though it always ends up great. And being a partial, it should be. But yet again, some of these themes can play out well and truly for the eclipse. Thus, the reason I have the webinar that I'm hosting well and truly before the event, so you're prepared for those areas. Or you can directly look at your star signs for that benefit as well. The food groups, in a sense, if you're eating food groups, I would be very cautious because Pisces at the moment, you know, you've got to look back to, and I've forgotten, you know, the time frame. I think it was during World War II. You know, there was the flower power and the hippies, and they were, you know, psychedelics and things like that. It was because of the Pisces placement. So, you know, that inner peace, that connecting with God, let's all be at one. You know, that's really the type of transits that we're going through at the moment. Moving through the age of Aquarius with Pisces is that we could go to using a glass of wine to calm down, or a pacifier, so to speak. And so we're trying to find healthy ways to calm our nerves, to let off steam. We may be wanting to connect and socialize next month. Moreover, we can be looking at, you know, sort of things at a global level that are affecting us mentally and emotionally, but they're also, you know, inside our own body system they are, and it is to do with belief systems and conditioning. The other thing is, during that time last year when we had Mercury retrograde, I do believe was when Cleo Smith went missing, and it's the predictions and the psychic channeled messages that I gave, which I have included in the star sign subscription, and inside, I believe, the videos that are coming up, not videos, the blogs that are coming out relating to the full moon in Libra. We need to be wary of our surroundings around that time, you know, for perpetrator energy. So it's more so to just be mindful. It doesn't mean to say it's going to happen, but because it's in the area of Libra and it's a full moon, and we have such heavy hitting astrology, we have to understand in the world we have both the yin to the yang. So we have a higher octane, we've got lower octane. And so being aware of your surroundings, looking after your valuables, you know, looking house, it's not one of those weeks really that you want to become complacent. It's where you want to be quite wise. I was saying to some people, we'll look back at 2003, look at 2014, you know, we had power outages. So there's different ways that we're trying to generate energy. There's different ways that we're trying to look outside the box, which can be quite innovative in nature for solutions. So there are actually solutions at hand. I mean, those of you in America, you're having a Pluto return. It is hitting both your 11th and your 10th house, which is to do with trade. It's to do with other people, you know, who you're directly working with, especially with Mars. It can be to do with officials. The other thing is, you know, financially, I feel we all look at life and we say to ourselves, okay, where is the most stable? And it's almost like we're having to use the tools that we directly have to find that stability and to actually look outside the box of what we can do that's within our control, and try to then not have that focus totally at all times on what you can't control, because that's not going to serve you. What other predictions do I have? Yeah, so be aware of your environment. Could we have power outages? Yes, and they can start happening pretty much in the first week of the month, all the way through to the eclipse. So having that in mind, you know, having a backup plan, maybe if that's the case, making sure that if you've got a chest freezer, you're having maybe a couple of big blocks of ice in there to hold you over so it keeps that situation cool. you know, having your essentials on hand, maybe having a little bit of extra water in the pantry so that, you know, if something went down, you've got that extra, but not to go to extremities, to do them in a more realistic fashion, so to speak. The other thing is, could we get grumpy with people? Yes, we can. There can be, like I said, people coming back from the past. A lot of you, you know, that I've been working with, and some of you may be new jumping on this video. I did talk about the fact that during both Venus and Mercury retrograde, some people were saying, hey, you know, it's usually when people from the past come back. I do feel, because it is Chiron in notion, we're more so going to see those people from the past wanting to come back. You also do tend to find there's a lot of people transitioning over at this time with Pisces, and psychic attacks can be quite large too. Any questions in the house while I'm mulling over all these hundreds of things I've been thinking that I haven't been able to write down yet because I've just had so much to do? Any questions? It's always been there. It's survival instincts. Yeah, so have your essentials, have your things that are, you know, have some candles out. Have, like I said, back in history, America had their power out for 3 months, you know? Am I saying it's going to happen? No, but it's better to be safe than sorry. It's like, have your candles ready. Mars is to do with fire. You know, be cautious, be aware of environments. Don't rush when you're driving. Be cautious with the way you're speaking so that we are not, you know, blowing people up verbally. Actually speaking, you know, with the understanding and empathy that from Virgo to here, we're sort of in that trigger mode that we can actually maybe not understand that each person does have a wound. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like a bunch of when we're in a child, we deem it as the hero's journey, but initially we're like an inner child. So it's like you know, a group of children hanging out in a schoolyard, picking on each other, but not knowing that they're all coming from a wound. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is what at a collective level we potentially could be doing, and that's quite iffy. A jerry can of fuel. Yeah, but you know, certain things, it's like when we do look at storing fuel, there's certain things that you need to put into that if you wanted to transfer it to a vehicle, because it does go off. So there's only so many things you can do. And realistically speaking, you know, one of the things I looked at, I'm home all the time. I have been for 5 years. I work from home. Okay. I don't have a life. I do actually. So for me, I don't really travel a lot. I have been really, I mean, I'm one of those Greenpeace chicks on the planet that's like, if I can walk there, I will. Um, I use my car maybe once a week. That's where it's at. Do you know what I mean? So if you need to do everything in one day, if it is work related, a lot of us are going to be looking at different ways we can actually subsidize that we can actually transfer that into a different location. And some of us, where we've been avoiding things that we didn't want to do, it's like we're having to jump in this month coming. And if you can use that brain at the moment with Virgo transits, it's going to help you actually problem solve. So that's one good thing I can say. At the moment, I believe, where are we? Let's have a look. I'm at the 23rd. You guys are at the 22nd, I believe. It's 9:52 at night. So let's have a look back. It should pass though. You'll also be in your Venus house, Giggle. You're going to have blasts from the past coming back. You're going to have things to do with money, things to do with food, wellness, Venus stuff. That's for Libra. 23rd. Okay, so from the 23rd, what can I say? We have the moon in Sagittarius. So our emotions are going to be, you know, this is to do with flying. It could be to do with a plane. I did notice there was a plane crash and I was like, why did that come up? Let me have a look. Why? Because the sun is in Aries, which is metal, and the moon is in Sagittarius, which is, and again, we've got Jupiter at the moment in Pisces, which is sky, you know, Neptune. 23rd here. There you go. Yeah, we're kind of matched now that you've done the time change. Finally, we can all hang out on YouTube. This is the problem. Half the time I'm a day ahead of you, and then it matches. So I'm technically, by 12 o'clock, I will be at the 24th. So I'm still technically ahead. So I get to go through hell first, and then I explain to you all the crap that went down. That's the good thing about it being in Australia, man. I do the FYI, you know, I'm like, guess what, peeps? It's been emotional. I put a update on my Facebook page, and my cousin says, oh my gosh, everything you said I've been feeling. Isn't it great when we all empathise with one another? Okay, so let's have a look. We have heavy hitting placements at the moment, and they are, we have Neptune, we have Pluto, which is at 28 degrees. So already, you know, it's kind of getting pretty close. You tend to find during the retrogrades, which you will have to, those of you in America, you'll find that a lot will be restructuring and can look a little bit messy by the time we reach the end of April. And that's because Pluto will go retrograde, and you guys are having a Pluto return. So you tend to find the retrogrades, you kind of mulling over changes that you need to do. And again, Capricorn can relate to government. The other thing I can say is during Pluto retrograde, you tend to have like your washers go. You'll have leaks in plumbing, and, you know, having to replace appliances. So if you can put a little bit away in a kitty, and you have had issues like that, and you know the thing's almost at its use by date, more than likely you can have situations to that degree going on. So, you know, check your cooling systems, check your taps, make sure there's no leaks. You know, put a little bit away for during that Pluto. So really, there's an opportunity in the month of April to earn quite a bit, providing you take initiative, right? Especially for new projects, different ways of doing things, different ways of balancing your employment sector out. The other thing I can say is the growth in the Taurian energy is going to be quite large. Let's have another look. Okay, so we'll go a day ahead. I need to check what bloody day I'm at. Get glasses, Yildiz. After all the computer work I've done for 5 years, I'm like, oh, I used to have them when I was a kid. Still have the moon in Sagittarius, so it is to do with growth, travel. It's to do with belief systems and religion. I don't know about that. It's emotions relating to our prejudice and religion. Okay, do recall. It can be to do with travel. Mercury still in Pisces. It's still spiritual emotion. It's 12th house. Male energies at the moment can feel very emotional. So I have dealt with 3 male individuals today, clients. Another one the day before. So that's 4 and 24 hours. And all of them have felt psychologically stuck. Not in a sense that they don't know the logic, but healing to a point they felt comfortable in saying, do you know what, this is for me? And that aspect was doing that. So it's only temporary, but it can feel very uncomfortable. You know, sometimes we can have these inadequacies that come up inside us as human beings. And so when we feel something's out of our control, and we you know, it's almost like, and I said this a few months ago, it's almost like psychologically a lot of us wanting to make very permanent decisions, when Uranus and Taurus really teaches us nothing is permanent. So I think sometimes we get too fixed on, if I do this, it's going to be great and nothing will ever change. And it's like, we actually need to be a little bit more fluid with that. Uranus and Taurus wants the old and the new. Again, it is to do with younger and older generation. So it can be elderly, it can be children that come up, subjects associated with that. Being a partial, whatever we were doing back in the first eclipse, which was last year, this is the second rollover. It's a second opportunity, okay? And we have 4 eclipses this year, and we've got 3 bloody moons going on. And I tell you, this house has been haunted for about 3 days. I think it's been about a week. I've been sensing things and seeing things. Very strange occurrences. My sister's having the same thing. Neptune, I'm telling you, it's 4D. Somebody said to me the other day, I think I read a comment, and they said, I connected with my twin's love interest on the 5-day, and it's actually the 4-day. Astro travel. We can astro travel if you had innate peace, and it's more you're going to directly see it through your third eye. And can we be very psychic at the moment? Yes, if we can get out of our third eye. So usually it's people that can channel will tend to be more relaxed with the ego. They'll be more, I tend to, in a sense, when I'm channeling, I'll just have a casual conversation with you. We'll get into the flow of it, and then it'll come to a calm space, and then I'm in. That's generally because you've started to actually be able to relax the third eye enough to just, it's like you're having an out-of-body experience. So you're connecting into their energy and tapping and moving over. So can we be having psychic attacks at the moment? Yes, you can, and you won't even need to do anything. It can be something as simple as a person thinking negative thoughts about you. And if you're quite tired and run down, which the transits have made, you then start getting those psychic attacks, and they do, it kind of messes up your aura. So aura upgrade, get grounded. If you're feeling really sluggish, now would be the time to eat the red and the orange food groups to boost that energy for that Aries energy coming through, and then lay off on it a little bit and move it to the yellow food groups, which is more co-creative. If it gets really aggravated, exercise. Twins karmic invaded my dream space. Oh, I've been astro traveling, man. But at the moment, the best way, like I said, I can describe it is because we are in that Virgoian energy, where it's Mercury in nature. So it's thoughts, it's emotions. I mean, Libra, for instance, it can be very emotional for Libra because it's our bloody 12th house. And so I was a bit weepy during the week, and I was aware of it because I understand transits. The whole reason I got into this was for my ascension. I'm like, I need to know when this is coming, so when that wave is coming, I can ride it, and I'm prepared. Which was the whole reason I looked at the chakra system, studied it, looked at the astrology, the transits. It wasn't for psychically, I picked these things up anyway, but separately, it was from an energy point of view that I was really wanting it. Hi. I was thinking about you, Dawn. Giggle and I were talking about you this morning. Did you feel it? We were, weren't we? Or was that another day? I don't bloody know. See, Virgo. On my 12th house. Go for gold, Giggle. Whatever you like, lovely. I tell you what. The only reason I like hanging out on, Instagram is because I usually do the naughty things. I'm like, I need to get like a pen. See, pacifiers. Shit. I know I shouldn't, but I do. What would you like to know? We do love Dawn. We were like, how's Dawn? Is Dawn good? I'm like all talking you up, Dawn. She's a busy executive woman. Dawn's like, heck my life. For anyone that's new in the house, lovely Dawn here is one of our fellow followers who has been here for a while. Hit me with what's coming. You can expect communication. You may have the oddest of people communicating with you. It was funny because the individual, and I'm going to talk in code, the individual we talked about earlier, which it's not anything private or anything, but I'm being ethical. The individual we were previously talking about before I had my client, that individual keeps coming through. I feel you're going to get a communication from them, and I feel they have a channeled message for you. I feel it's after you get that channeled message that you are directly going to get communication, but something energetically is going down over there, and it feels funky, okay? But it's going to be quick. It feels very quick. And the poor bugger's Aries too. It's only because you're one of my soul sister tribes, and I start to learn my followers' star signs. So if you're new, come through. I don't have a free moment this week. Well, I bloody told you to get your freaking website done, woman. The first statement I made to Dawn, I coach people. For those of you that want coaching when it comes to running businesses, looking at your astrology, running platforms, I do coaching. So if you need it, give me a hoy. So I have been talking to Dawn about these things and giving her tips and tricks. And I think the notion I had was build it and they will come. I did bloody tell you. I said it, Dawn. Get as much organised as you can, Dawn, because we're having Mercury retrograde. So those Virgo babies out there, if it's who I think, the individual we were talking about was another YouTuber, which is a channeler. Yeah, I wasn't, look, point blank zero, you're going to have people coming towards you. You can say no. I can say no, right? We're Libras. My name is no. My number is no. Oh, Lord. I swear, I'm seeing this funky energy over here at the moment. You're following Giggle's footsteps. Hit me with it. You have people coming around you too, Dawn. Who is the person with the goatee? I can't believe I'm still bloody awake. I must be crazy. Who's the person? Yeah. Yeah, he's Cancer. Yeah. Okay, Cancers and Leos need to be careful this month because Cancer is moon and Leo is sun, and the eclipses are correlating with it. With what? I'm seeing this person, okay? Dawn, I'm seeing this gentleman, and I feel, and I don't know, is this your twin? Has your twin got a goatee? No. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be. When you're in a bloody karmic relationship, it's very interesting some of the things that karmics get you doing. This is the t-shirt you need to wear. I'm like, go pick your own clothes, aren't you, mama? My twin would tell me to get stuffed. Oh, no, he wouldn't actually. He's pretty good. It looks really strange. Not him. Do you know what I mean, Dawn? It's light. It's different. It's not. Yeah. It's not. You send me. Okay. Well, they're around you. Don't be surprised if you bloody see them. It's funky. You're going to be like, what the hell have you done? Who's dressing you up? It looks cookie cutter. I don't know. And I'm all down for goatees. Don't get me on. No prejudice here. I'd love my twin to get his goatee back. Yeah. But that's how it's kind of looking. You're going to, because he's, at first I thought it was someone else, and I went, no, hang on a minute, that's her twin. What's he done to his goatee? It looks strange, Dawn. It's probably the demeanor you're going to take because it's unusual, okay? It's the demeanor, big smiley face, which is good. I'm happy to see that. I think he's happy to see you when he sees you. I feel it's at your house, but I'm actually seeing it's really kind of clipped, and he's got a big cheesy grin, but it's not him usually. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think you'll explain to me what I mean when you see it. I'll just leave that for you, Dal, okay? We don't need to channel any further. Yeah, he's right there. A message for you. I am seeing two individuals with dark hair, cosmic journey. Who are these two individuals? I'm seeing a male and a female. They both have very short hair. They've got very dark, short hair. Who are these individuals? Do you have short, dark hair? Cosmic journey? You know, it's really strange. It's almost like an old picture. It's like there could be a function that you're going to be asked to go to. It's like the go-go dancers, you know, with the bobbed hair. Have you been thinking about having a haircut? He isn't talking to you, but he's showing up in your dreams because it's coming. This is really weird. It is. Have you? What color is your natural hair, doll? I don't know who these people are, but this feels funky. This feels I don't know if this is a photo or have you had regression done? Have you had dreams of past life energy? Because this feels like you and your person, but you both are in an outfit. It's like a fancy dress outfit. But there's bobbed hair. You're a dag. You know how they had the go-go pearls, black outfit, black bobbed hair, and there's a thing around the... It's strange. Do you have a certain era that you're really attracted to? Like, do you have things that you're really connected into? Like in a theme, it's like furniture or an era. Because it feels like a photograph. It's either at a wedding, and I don't know whether you kind of thought to yourself, hey, if I was ever to get married, I'd just do something really different. I don't know. That's kind of how it's coming through. But it feels like you with an individual, you're standing next to them. It's kind of themed. It's a function. It could be a wedding. But it's definitely you. The other message I'm getting is I'm seeing it's almost like you're coming full 360. And whatever karma was associated, maybe if this was associated with a past life, it's kind of closing out now and a new door's opening. So it's like you're going to have a fresh start. But I'm seeing that you're maybe going to be at a function. That's about the best way I can describe it. Okay? Okay, my lovelies, have a lovely night. I hope that helped. Thanks for your donations. I appreciate it. And I'll see you Friday.